The next session is Teaching Innovation Competency-Based Learning Material for Accountancy, Business and Management, ABM, the student by Grace and Elmer. We request Grace and Elmer.
Again, good day everyone, the organizers, the invited speakers, and my co-presenters. So it is indeed my privilege to be part of the Society for Research Development 6 International Conference to present my study entitled Teaching Innovation, Competency-Based Learning Materials for Accountancy, Business and Management Students. By the way, I'm Grace Nagar-Alunar, a second-year Doctor in Business Administration student at San Pablo Colleges, Laguna, Philippines. For the introduction of my study, a significant change in curriculum in Philippine education takes place when Republic Act 10533, known as Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, was signed by former President Benigno Aquino III. So President Aquino said Republic Act number 10533 institutionalizes a system of education that truly imbues our youth with the skills they need to pursue their dreams. So the classroom teachers are the frontliners in achieving the curriculum objectives and the key personnel in the delivery of new knowledge to the students. Everything the teacher does in school shall focus on increasing student knowledge and skills, and in the end will result to greater student performance and school achievement. And with this, teachers face the challenging task of creating positive learning environments as well as additional instruments that will make them realize it. So from this point of view, it caught the researchers' interest and triggered to undergo this study to come up with needed learning material and determine whether it is effective or can greatly affect the learner's knowledge. For the statement of the problem, I want to know the mean score of the grade 12 ABM students in the pre-test and post-test about identifying and differentiating types of bank accounts. Second, what is the mean score of the grade 12 ABM students in the pre-test and post-test about preparing bank deposit and withdrawal slip and checks? Third, is there a significant implication or difference in the students' pre-test and post-test about identifying and differentiating types of bank accounts? And fourth, is there a significant implication on difference in the student pre-test and post-test about preparing bank deposit and withdrawal slips and checks? Now, for the brief review of related literature and studies, innovative teaching is often invisible, and the teacher is very much peripheral to the most important factor, the student and their learning. So good teachers instinctively know when to intervene and, most importantly, when to get out of the way. So teaching is not focused on instruction today, and nor should it ever have been, but is increasingly about facilitation and considers the student holistically. Some of the most innovative teaching I have witnessed has come about because of the powerful combination of an effective teacher and appropriate use of technology, of course. So in such situations, teaching and technology combine to support good learning. The technology is usually embedded into the curriculum and lesson to the extent that it is either invisible or inconsequential. The learning takes center stage and the technology is made mundane. So the technology performs its necessary function, but is not central to the process. Innovative teachers are innovative not because they use technology, but because they understand the needs of learners and can create effective environments with or without technology that maximize the opportunities for students to succeed. That's according to Wheeler in 2016. So for the theoretical and conceptual framework, so John Dewey believed that successful educators provide students with experience that are immediately valuable to their current position in life. According to Peggy Hickman on her article on John Dewey, that teachers were to present real-life problems to the children and then guide the students to solve the problem by providing them with a hands-on activity to learn the solution. The process of learning is more enjoyable when people are engaged in the actual material, as what the researcher did to the respondents. So this figure 1 shows the paradigm how the independent variable, which is the competency-based learning materials, will impact on student knowledge in increasing in-bank transactions, which is the dependent variable. Now for the methodology, this study utilized the pre-test, post-test design, as I mentioned before. So students undergo a 2 teacher-made pre-test before using the learning material and post-test after exposure to learning material to assess the difference in their knowledge. The test was used to test the hypothesis. Okay, so I will skip it. So the competency-based learning material was then delivered and conducted by the researcher herself to the class respondents. After the instructions, the same formative test was administered as post-test given the same time for pre-test. So the test papers and the forms were checked and scores were recorded. Okay, so for the results and discussion, competency-based instruction was used to teach the content basic documents related to bank transactions among grade 12 ABM students. The curriculum guide for grade 12 fundamentals of accountancy, business, and management 2 required competencies such as first, identify the types of banks accounts normally maintained by the business. Second, differentiate savings account from a current or checking account. Third, prepare bank deposits and withdrawal slips. Fourth, identify and prepare checks. And fifth, identify and understand the contents of bank statement. So in response with this, required competencies is the effort of the researcher to make a learning material that will help the students to increase their knowledge in bank transactions. Okay, so this figure shows the increase in mean scores of the students in their first pre-test and post-test, while this second figure shows the increase in mean scores of the students in their second pre-test and post-test. Okay, the table implies that students had developed and improved their knowledge in basic documents related to bank transactions, particularly in identifying and differentiating types of bank accounts. And the second table implies that students had developed and improved their knowledge in basic documents related to bank transactions, particularly in preparing bank deposits and checks. For the summary of my findings, after analyzing the results of the data gathered, the following are the findings of the study. The first pre-test and post-test mean scores of the students in the formative test on basic documents related to bank transaction, particularly in identifying and differentiating types of bank accounts, increase. The test of difference between the pre-test and post-test mean scores in the formative test in basic documents related to bank transactions, particularly in identifying, differentiating types of bank accounts, interpreted as significant from 2.062 with a p-value of 0.00. Third, the second pre-test and post-test also increased and interpreted as significant. For the conclusion, although the study was classroom-based and limited in scope based from findings and conclusions drawn were, first, there is a positive implication after using the competency-based learning material as evidenced by mean difference between pre-test and post-test and second pre-test and post-test. There exists significant difference in the mean scores of the student in the pre-test and post-test on the concept of bank transactions. And from that conclusion, I recommend that first for accounting teachers, they may use and adopt the competency-based learning material in teaching the concept of basic documents related to bank transactions as it has positively enhanced the knowledge of the students on the said topic. Third, action researches may be conducted using the same learning material to other group of ABM students. And third, another similar study may be done to improve the learning material to match and address the academic needs of our 21st century learners. And with that, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Grace and Eleanor. It was indeed a wonderful presentation.
Thank
And
you.
just to make you aware that in India, new education policy has been implemented recently, in which competency-based learning is the major objective sections for class 12 students. So it
Oh,
was
okay.
very well listening to you, all the pre and post test analysis. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you.